All right, so I just went ahead and hit the record button, and I'm going to be talking about, in this video, I'm going to be talking about relationships a little bit, and some things that more people should try to keep in mind when it comes to the relations that commonly lead to the creations of people, like people creating people. I feel like people should keep some things in mind when it comes to that sort of stuff. When it comes to bringing about the development of what will eventually be human beings, like people, because that's a big deal. I feel like that's one of those. It's one of the things that like people have the capacity to do. That's like really, it's a very consequential thing. And there's very little roadblocks in place, so anyone can just kind of do it. When it comes to like the act of it, like if you really want to do it, you can do it. If you have like little to no standards about all the details of it, you can make it happen. If you're not trying to like ensure some things, you can make it happen. And I feel like many people don't have that many sort of personal standards that they're trying to check off before they create people. And I feel like if you're going to create people, you should have at least like some amount of those. I feel like you really should. I don't feel particularly passionate in terms of my own. Lately, I haven't been feeling all that. I haven't really been thinking about my own personal, like what are the odds that I'll end up ever creating a person. But I know that I'm not, if I'm ever going to be ready for something like that, and I'm ever going to want something like that, because I don't currently, I'm not there now. Nowhere close to being there. Like not even close. I'm very immature. I'm very short-sighted. I'm very confused as to what I even want long term, and who I even am. My sense of self is very unstable, and because I'm still young. I'm still like a young sort of, relatively young. Back in the day, I'd be considered a man, just like based on age. But I feel like I'm far from that. I feel like I'm not. I'm a boy in many ways, and I want to be less of. But I feel like that's becoming more common too for like someone in their mid-20s to be as immature and silly of a person as I am. I feel like that's becoming. But setting that aside, I feel like people are becoming over time less and less concerned about checking off those boxes. One way of looking at it, there's so many hoops that you gotta jump through. There are so many things that you gotta check off if you're gonna have a child, and it's gonna be a deliberate thing ever. If you're ever gonna do that, there are some things that you want to make sure are in place, and you want to give that a lot of thought. You want to give that a good amount of introspection, and you want to do what you can to try and find someone to do that with that's gonna do a good job along with you. And you want to make sure of some very important things. And I feel like the less respect you have for what it means to have a child with someone, the more likely you'll be to have more children. You're going to be far more likely to create way more people if you have little to no respect for what it is to do that. And there's so many like bottlenecks. Like when it comes to the creation of people, I feel like the more respect you have for it, the more you think about it, etc., the less likely you'll be to ever do it, and the less likely you'll be to ever find a specific time in your life where you'll feel like this is a good time to do it. Like this is, everything just lines up perfectly, and you'll feel as though I've found the right person, this is the right time, everything's perfectly set up to where if I do this, I feel pretty good about the outcomes of it. And it's just, the more you concern yourself with those sorts of things, the less likely you'll be to ever do it. I think for many people, it is one of those things where it's just, it's set aside, it's cast off with the people who are going to do it deliberately or are ever going to want to do it deliberately. You're just way more likely to procrastinate, and then it just never happens. I feel like that's a very common And I've met people that you can tell that they waited too long, and they